All right,
That's
let's
my
double
first
check
week.
here.
And this week it's the Daytona 5 Fast.
Okay.
Fasting 1, 2,
Twitch
3.
looks good. Let's look at YouTube. YouTube looks good. Let's check.
Mixer.
Checking Periscope. You know, the next mixer.
Instagram.
Yeah. I don't think
By the way,
we don't
did you ever pause the late shift while you were playing it?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
On the Xbox, it's got mixer integration.
Oh man.
Yep. Was
real good.
Tickled a little bit to see the Mixer logo just right there in the middle of the screen.
Or Mixer. Gone too soon.
Yep.
All right, are you guys ready to start this thing?
Yup.
Sure, why not? I got 2 games I can talk about this week.
I have 1.
All right.
Hooray. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Join me as always is Moonpeer.
Hello.
And the Nymph.
Hello.
As we talk about at the top of every show, patreon.com/E1M1, the ones with numbers, behind the scenes, early access, exclusive audio for all you fine patrons. We greatly value each one of you. $5 a month, not per episode, is the recommended tier. That gets you all the stuff. Anything above and beyond that is greatly appreciated. The show we like to sort of call out here is the exclusive Outcast, is the uncensored, for better or for worse, pre-recording we do before we go live here. It's only available there, and it's usually a pretty good amount of audio every week. So go check that out, patreon.com/E1M1. We have a brand new episode of the Game Club Recap that's coming out today. That's for the Wales interactive game Late Shift. You should go listen to that. That turned out to be a more positive episode than I think we have had for a little bit on the show.
Yep.
You should go play Late Shift. It's only like 45 minutes. It's really good. All right, Moon. What have you been playing this past week?
Okie doke. Well, number one, let's also start with if we can, folks, like, retweet, comment, subscribe, etc., etc.
5-star ratings where you can.
Yeah, just because we're closer and closer to that $250 goal for Mr. Boston over here to play scary games. Coincidentally, Resident Evil 7 just went on Game Pass, and I'm not saying you have to get us there within the next week or two, but if you do, I'm just saying.
Yep.
Tell a friend, and tell a friend.
Yeah.
Tell 6 friends, all who ideally can spare $5 a month.
That's right. That would be nice.
Yes. So yeah, my first game I'm going to talk about this week is Vambrace Cold Soul.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That reaction was my reaction when I loaded the game up and decided to start playing it again.
Man, I really liked this game.
I did too. And it leaves Game Pass in 7 days.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Now we know why I've
I was going to say, do you have to finish up trophies?
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding.
One more playthrough to get the other half of the achievements.
Pretty much, yes. So, if you want very detailed thoughts about Vambrace Cold Soul, go check out We Roguelike It. We did a whole 4 weeks on it. So, I'm not going to go into too much depth on it here for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I think I'm about halfway through Boston based on what I remember.
I think there's
about the game.
4 dungeons and the final dungeon.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm close to the end. I've just got to get those sweet costumes. You know, the ones that make your character look like an anime lingerie girl,
or like Samus for like non-litigious Samus. It's just like, all right, you call me a space bounty hunter and you're purple instead of blue, and it's like, okay.
Or my personal favorite, the polar bear outfit, which I recently got, which is stupidly difficult to get.
Yeah. Some
And then
of
the
them are
description,
like, yeah.
yeah, the description of it is like, yeah, what would you do for a Klondike bar? And it's like, really?
God.
And the worst thing is,
Uh,
it's just a big polar bear outfit, but the main character is still standing in the anime girl way with the hand on the hip and
right.
the arm down, sexy kind of stance.
Right.
So it's just a giant polar bear trying to be sexy. So it's kind of hilarious to some degree.
This game is so weird.
Yeah, it is. I don't know why I'm playing it again. Actually, I do know why I'm playing it again. I'm playing it because I can listen to music, spoiler alert, while playing it and doing other things at the same time.
And it legitimately is a good game. Like, it has so many rough edges pretty much everywhere, but it's surprisingly pretty good.
Yeah, and apparently they patched it now to have a chapter select, so I can go back.
Oh, thank
and
God.
do the opposite decisions to get those achievements.
Yeah, because, like, for anyone that didn't play it, half of the achievements
Which is everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Half of the achievements are choice achievements. So you get one if you, like, side with the ghosts, and you get the other one if you don't side with the ghosts. And then the other half of the achievements are collect all the costumes. And, like, before the chapter select, it was like, all right, I'm going to go play this game and just choose the right choice on every one, and then next time I will pick the left choice on every one, and I should have most of them. But that makes like 2 or 3 playthroughs.
Yeah. So, and in all honesty, it's been a good, especially once you've played it and once you've beat it, you kind of know how to break the game.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, Boston. For those listening to We Roguelike a year and a half after we've already done the episodes on it, but somehow listening to this at the same time, when you get your perk points for the main lady, who I can't remember the name of, despite the fact that I'm on my 2.5 playthrough, when you get the perk points, put them into mercantile first and foremost.
Oh, interesting.
Because as soon as you do that, super rare things show up in the shop, and you can get like the relics and class specific stuff from like chapter 2 instead of the end of the game.
Clever. I like it.
So
good
you
tip.
Immediately become super OP. And do you remember that boss who kills you with like does the status effect and then hits you again and kills you?
Yep.
Didn't even get a second attack off. Dead.
All right, I guess I'm firing up Vambrace again.
It was super cool because it's just a broken game now, and I like just going into these types of games when I struggled with it the first time around, and just destroying it.
Yeah,
and it's really fun to do so. And I'm doing my best to not walk around as a senpai, please notice me anime lady in literally lingerie.
I unlocked like maybe 2 or 3 outfits in that game naturally, because a lot of them are like go into the final dungeon of each area that doesn't have a map, and like at the end of a pathway you're not supposed to go to, look behind a pile of rubble and there'll be a costume there. And like one of the few ones I unlocked was like a set of lingerie, and it's like, oh boy. No thank you.
Yeah
Yeah,
there's several of those.
Okay. Not just one.
Several.
Boy. All right. But still a really good game.
Yeah, it's still a really good game. It's surprisingly good. Also not a roguelike, just saying.
Yeah. Yep.
There's a reason it's so low on our list. It's because it's not actually a roguelike.
Right.
My final game this week, because nothing says pick me up better after, the hellspawn of Vambrace Cold Soul than the medium.
Leaning all the way into it.
Yeah, so this is going to be difficult to talk about. So it pretty much after the show last week, I think it was, Boston, I sent you, maybe it was Monday or Tuesday, I sent you a text message saying, do not play this game, period.
Yeah.
I'm backing away from that stance a little bit now, because it never. Content warning that this game has got some very dark themes. I'm not going to
Yeah.
straight up talk about them on this show because the whole point of this show is it's family friendly.
I know I have seen there have been some people that have been displeased about the story on Twitter. So I've seen some stuff from kind of the midpoint all the way to the ending, and it does tackle a lot of difficult topics. It's not like,
Yes.
ooh, it's a horror game because the insane asylum was haunted. It's like, no, we're getting into some stuff here.
Yeah, like for starters, the game is based in a location where hundreds of thousands of people died in World War II,
Right.
and you're a medium going to this location.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to happen when you go to that type of location as a
Spooky
medium?
stuff.
It has very adult content and adult themes.
Mm.
The warning I sent you, Boston, specifically, I'm going to step back on that one a little bit.
Sure.
Because it talks about it, it hints at it, it never outright confirms anything, and it doesn't straight up go super in depth in detail.
Oh,
it,
okay.
It implies and talks around the edges. It doesn't go super deep. It doesn't, it's not a barrel book for you to learn all about the disturbing nature of humans. It's just, this person is bad. This is why he's bad. Now you know he's bad. Now deal with it.
Right. This guy kicked a bunch of puppies. Let's go get him.
Yes.
Yeah.
If puppies were, yes. I literally can't use an analogy for it because it will just straight up ruin the game.
And like you sort of don't know what spoilers at this point either. So like you don't want to go all the way too deep on it.
Ideally, I want people to go in as blind as possible because that content warning I gave you, I had no idea that was in the game.
Yeah.
Literally, all I had been told was, this game goes dark. Thank you, Rob. Also, literally, by the way, I'm playing this to spite friend of the show, Rob, because he said I wouldn't play it till 2027, and now I've beat the game, so you can go straight down and mute yourself, Mr. Rob. Thank you very much.
That's right.
But the less you know about it going in, the better. I think it might have some of my favorite vocal or voice performances, maybe of all time, in there.
Wow.
The lead character, I think it's Emily Burke, I believe. I specifically went on, did research, found out who the voice actors were, and tweeted at them specifically because the performance was so good.
Right.
I needed to let them know. Troy Baker's in this, Boston.
Why not? It's a video game. It's
Troy
showing
Baker
up everywhere.
is showing his full creepy side in this. Because, of course, he's the bad guy.
Right.
And I didn't even know it was him. Kelly Burke was the name of the lady who plays the main character. I didn't know it was Troy Baker until he goes full on that bad guy from the delivery game.
Death Stranding. Yeah.
Yes, the handy face guy.
Yeah. Higgs?
Yes. Oh, is it Higgs or is it Boson? Because it's...
I think he calls himself Higgs. I don't remember. The mask guy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He goes into full on that mode, but supernatural distortions and things like that going on. Troy Baker is amazing and he's scary at the same time, and I hate him. So I was trying to figure out a way to describe this game while I was playing it. Like, how can I kind of sum up this game without literally spoiling anything? Like, I've talked about the mechanic, the whole split thing where you're in different realities, the spirit world and the human world. They delve into different kinds of mediums with potentially different abilities and things like that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's a really good story told fantastically. And my best description here is it's like a Guillermo del Toro movie crossed with Blair Witch.
Okay.
which is it's got the creepy woods and buildings of the Blair Witch, and then the nightmare fuel of like Pan's Labyrinth from Guillermo del Toro.
Right.
Where it's like, oh, are you a big fan of that alien with the hand eye, or the like does the hand eye
Yeah.
thing, and then go. If you're a big fan of that thing, get ready to be either scared or thrilled, whichever one that hand thing gets you.
Whatever that does for you.
Yeah. I apologize in advance, Boston. The medium is not Blue Sky Gaming. It is not.
Okay.
I have described it here as Red Basement Gaming, which is about as diametrically opposite of Blue Sky
Right.
Gaming as I could think of.
Yep.
It is a fantastic game. It is good to play. I'm trying to think of a way to describe how much I enjoyed playing this game without actually saying the game was fun, because the game is not fun in the traditional
Right.
sense. It's like watching a Black Mirror episode and just controlling it. It's like
Right.
it's that thing that horror movies can do, where they scare you and they creep you out, and then you turn off the light and then the shadow moves.
Mhm.
Except you're playing it instead of watching it, so
Right.
it adds that level of.
It's like watching a really well-made sad movie. It's like that was good, but not
Mhm.
good to like. It was good to watch, but it wasn't. I'm not like ready to take on the world. It's like, all right, it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, like Hair is a great example of that type
Right.
of movie. Forrest Gump, even. That's a terribly sad movie,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a great movie.
Right.
This is a fantastic game.
It's just a super bummer.
It's just not
It's
a
gonna
happy
make you feel
game.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare it?
And then it ends with a question mark,
Oh, okay.
which, don't get me wrong, I'm fine with the question mark because they leave it up to your interpretation. They pull an SGU. Nimp gets that reference.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the fact that Nimp gets that reference. Nobody else would get that reference normally. Where they leave you with an ending and you can make it in your head. Whichever way you want it to go, it went that way.
Okay.
There is a stinger for a sequel.
Good.
So I'm hoping they go ahead and make another sequel, but
Nope, like SGU, it's been canceled.
Yeah.
yes, 100%.
You just reopened such an old wound for him.
Do
Hey,
you have
he
no
brought
idea?
it up, and that was the first thing I felt.
One quiet
Yeah.
tear rolls down his
Yeah.
cheek.
Every time I see one of those tweets where it's like, what TV show do you want rebooted? And it's like Firefly, blah, 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 blah. It's like, there's not enough SGU in these comments.
Right.
But the medium is great. Go play the medium. It's on Game Pass, especially if you have a Series X, because it's the only way you can play it right now, I believe, because I don't think it's a PC game.
No, it's only X and S.
Give it a shot. You'd be surprised about how much a tiny little team can do
Yeah.
with, I'm guessing, a minimal budget.
Yeah.
I can't really talk about it too much, though.
It's okay.
Is the problem. Because
I mean, it just came out, so we don't want to spoil anything.
spoilers and content warning ahoy. Go play the medium.
Right. Right.
But yes, that's all I've been playing this week. Mostly it was the medium, I'm not going to lie. Nimp, tell me about your JRPGs.
No JRPGs this week because
Whoa.
I pretty much just played Valheim all week.
Okay, what is this? Everybody's talking about this, and I
Alright.
literally don't know what it is.
So I also knew absolutely nothing about this.
Let's talk about Valheim, the game that has sold 3 million copies in about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. So Valheim is basically a survival crafting game.
Okay.
No Man's Sky, Minecraft on
No, wait,
survival
come back.
mode. Yeah, exactly.
Is it on Xbox? Tell me it's not on Xbox.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
Oh,
it's
thank
on. It's on early access right now. Steam. It's $20. So I got into it only because after seeing enough people talk about it in our Discord and other places, it kind of piqued my interest. And then a friend of mine told me that she bought a server. Let's all play this game. It's like,
Oh, nice.
all right, fine, whatever. $20. I don't care. Adding that server was a pain, which is a known issue, and it's being worked on. But it's kind of a pain between Steam and the game. But once you finally get it set up, works great.
Oh, okay.
The story or premise behind this is that basically Odin has cast everything that he doesn't want to deal with into the realm of Valheim, and then he just completely severs it from the rest of the realms. What's happening now is that they're all starting to rally together. So he sends a person who has just died and is meant for Valhalla to this realm and says, deal with this, then you can go to Valhalla. That's where you come in. So you get carried in. Go ahead.
Norse games are like buses. You wait 17 years for one, and then 17 come along all at the same time.
Yeah. This one, though, I've had a lot of fun with. Like, I had a lot of fun with Assassin's Creed. That was all fun and great. But this one, for some reason, has really caught me. I'm normally not into crafting and survival, and I will get into that more later. But you basically get dropped off by a raven, and you're told, hey, this is a Stonehenge kind of area. All of these stones represent a boss. You will need to fight these bosses. For right now, you need to survive, and you just start on your merry way. You can go anywhere you want. You can do whatever you want within game logic. But like in the area that we got dropped off in, it was a forested area that had a bunch of boars and deer. And the boars will kill you very quickly because you have no weapons and no armor. What I found out really quickly, and what really has grabbed me for this game, is that you have, I won't call them skills, but like your abilities, the things that you would just normally do, like running, swimming, punching, those all level up like Morrowind. So the more you do them, you start to earn proficiency. So that has me basically running everywhere and walking up to trees and punching trees. Even though I'm not doing anything to the trees, it's increasing my proficiency in unarmed.
Can I mute Nimp? Like, can I mute him so I don't hear any of this?
Hey, okay. My unarmed is at 40, okay?
Before we continue too far, is this PvP?
It can be, yes.
What, you said it can be?
Yep.
Can it not be?
Yes.
Oh no.
So each person in your menu, you have to agree to turn on player versus player damage. So if you don't have that on, you can't deal damage and you can't receive damage. So you can't get screwed over by that. Unless you forget to shut it off.
Like, I'm not going to lie, you are 100% tickling all my giblets right now.
I know.
This is a problem.
So with what we have done so far is the server that we had originally just had 3 people, and it was me and 2 other people. The fourth, who was the person who made the server, hadn't even had a chance to get onto the server at that point yet. So it was just the 3 of us building, and we've got like a massive longhouse now. We have a dock. We have boats now. It was just a raft. It was a crappy little thing. Whatever. But so we were just digging around, chopping down trees, killing boars, deers, what little enemies would pop up, getting food. And we finally decided, okay, let's work on finding this boss and let's see if we can take it. Because the whole point is that you're supposed to be gearing up to fight a boss.
And that's the thing that I have been the most surprised about, is seeing, especially on our Discord server, like a lot of people are playing it on our server. And I'm interested in seeing like these teams of people exploring and doing the normal survival stuff that if that's your jam or not, but then everybody kind of gearing up and then taking on these big bosses to kind of gear up to take on another boss in another area so they can kind of continue to explore the area. And it's like, normally the combat and fighting bosses isn't really the goal. It's just kind of surviving and exploring and stuff. But the whole boss thing seems pretty cool.
Well, and the best thing depending on who you are, for me, the best thing is that the survival aspect, it's not so much, oh, you're hungry, you need to eat. Oh, you're
Right.
dehydrated, you need to drink. None of that, none of those systems are in this game.
Right.
What you are doing is you have a base stamina bar and a base health bar. And then let's say you eat a berry. This berry will improve your base health from like 25 to 35. And it increases your stamina by one little bar.
Mm-hmm.
So that does a time where it lasts for a certain amount, like a minute or two. And there's no direct healing. It's you eat a piece of food, and over time, it will continue to heal you. So when you eat that berry and it brings your base health up to 35, it's like 2 HP or whatever every second that your health bar. So it's not automatically you're at 35. So that's kind of cool and crappy at the same time, because if you eat a bunch of food, you all of a sudden have 140 health, but you kind of have to wait for your health to heal up to that point.
Right.
And also there's 3 different types of food you can eat. There's meat, which gives you the most health boost and benefit. Then you can eat, like we're finding these necktails, which necks in this are like little lizard things that live by the water. You kill them, you can eat that, and then you can eat berries. And you can only eat one item or one type at a time, and it'll keep it by your health. And you can't eat another meat until the first meat that you have eaten has completed.
Right.
So
like
I
once you
think
digest it.
Yeah, I think meat's like 112 seconds or something like that. So you can't eat another meat until that 112 seconds is over with. And during that time, your health is slowly going down, not quickly, but it's going down after a certain amount of time because you're not getting that benefit anymore, and then it'll expire, and then you can eat another one and just keep going. So that's an interesting thing with the food, is that you're not really eating it for survival game purposes. You're just eating it to increase your base. You're basically buffing yourself with it.
I like that a lot, because I feel like what most people have friction with a lot of survival games is like, all right, cool, like I got to a cool exploration area, or I just made it out of a fight encounter, and oh, now I'm dying of thirst and I'm nowhere near anything, so cool, I guess I lose. Like that's not usually that fun.
So you don't have to worry about that at all in this game. And the way that we have it set up with ourselves, the 3 of us at the time, we were all doing 3 different things, and these maps are pretty big. So up to date so far, I have found the other side of our island where I'm assuming we're on an island. We could be on a peninsula. I don't know. From what I've heard, these maps can be huge.
Yeah.
But I have found we started out on the ocean on the southern part of our area. I've scouted all the way to the north and have found another ocean. And then it seems like there's like a river that's dividing us to possibly another island to the east of us, and there's a mountain range to the northwest of us, and to the west the island or the coast just keeps going up, and I haven't gotten too much farther into that because it goes into a different biodome, which has different enemy types, which are harder right now.
Gotcha.
So, and that's also how it's divvied up, is right now we started out in the meadows biodome, there's a black woods biodome, and there's a mountain biodome so far.
Okay.
Mountains I haven't been able to explore at all because you get cold damage. So we have to figure out how to negate that before we can explore it. And as of last night, a couple of us ran into wolves and got completely decimated. So, I was part of that party, but I wasn't the one killed because I was out scouting looking for copper, and I just hear people yelling in chat, "Hey, we're all dead." And I just see little grave markers popping up. But anyway, so for us to take on this boss, we were trying to figure out how ready we would actually, if we were even ready or capable to do it. And your crafting abilities, you can only do so much with crafting up until you beat this boss, we found out. At the time, we had like leather armor, and we were coming at it with like clubs and stone axes. And I was out just scouting to find the area that it was in. And then a couple other people were like cutting down trees, which are the hidden enemy in this game, because they will kill you. They will kill anything around you. They will destroy your buildings, and they possibly destroy other trees, which create chain reactions of other trees falling down, doing damage to things.
Interesting.
So you have to be really careful with trees.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were cutting down trees. Another person was hunting to get us more food and to get us more materials for armor and weapons and stuff like that. And once we felt that we were finally ready to take on the boss, 3 of us came over. We found the area that we were supposed to be at. It's basically another Stonehenge that's set up for this boss. And then we found out that you need trophies to be able to summon the boss. And for this boss, the first one, you just needed 3 deer trophies, which you get after a while from killing deer. So I had to run all the way back to our base, grab 3 trophies, run all the way back, put the trophies on, and then the boss fight starts. Now, the music in this game is your normal, like, serene wilderness music. You're exploring. Everything sounds nice until you start fighting. The boss encounters are a whole different thing entirely. You put those trophies down, the world starts to shake, it starts to get dark, you see the thing pop up, and cue the heavy metal music.
Oh, yeah, here
I
we
was
go.
hoping it would go full BPM.
Yes. So as soon as this boss shows up, it is this giant deer that has red glowing eyes, has chains on its horns, and it shoots out lightning.
Here we go.
And you have the metal music playing over all of those.
It starts with
pretty much. So we were able to take on the boss. 2 of us were shooting it with bows, while the third one was running up and hitting it and running away. And we had found out that if you hid behind some of the stone pillars that were there, the lightning couldn't exactly hit you. But it had like 2 different attacks where it'll shoot lightning out in front of it, or it'll do like an AoE around it. So we were shooting it with bows until we ran out of arrows, and then all 3 of us were just running at it, hitting it, running away, see who it followed, and then we would all come behind it and hit it again, and kept doing it that way. And we finally took it out.
Nice.
On the first try. So it was fun, and if we didn't have everything crafted that we did, it probably would have been a lot harder. I think we actually went in more prepared than we needed to be. Because we just didn't know how difficult this was going to be. And we also didn't know how the scaling would work with it, because we did notice that opposed to playing like the single player version of this, or like a single player version of this, the monsters, there's more of them, and some of them are a little bit more difficult. So we didn't know how the boss was going to scale with the 3 of us being there.
Right.
So we took it out with no problem. We get our trophy. Beating this boss unlocked a new crafting, I guess, like tree that we could do, which allowed us to build pickaxes. And we needed that boss's horns, which are hard antlers, to create an antler pickaxe, which is the first type that you can get.
Okay, interesting.
So we go back to base, we hang the trophy up on the stone, Crow comes down, who's basically your tutorial crow, and says, hey, good job, you beat this boss. You now talk to the head, and the boss will give you an ability. It's like, okay. So we all talk to the head, and now we all have this ability where we can channel the boss's energy for 5 minutes, and it's on a 20-minute cooldown every time you use it. But for 5 minutes, your running and jumping takes negative 60 stamina, or costs negative 60 stamina.
Okay.
So, yeah. And it's really useful, especially later on, as we found, when you're running away from things.
Right.
So we get the head up there. We go back to base, we build these pickaxes, and now we can finally start mining for copper or tin or whatever material we can find.
Oh, I see.
We can also start digging holes now, which I don't know why you'd want to, unless you needed stone. I don't know why you would really want to do that.
Right.
Because the true heart of all survival games lies underground.
That's right. That's right.
We're hoping not, but
welcome to my cave system.
Yeah, exactly. So after we got that, we went back out and we started doing mining. We were looking for copper. We were looking for tin. That way we could start making bronze stuff. And this opens up a whole other area where the crow tells you that, hey, you have to find like basically these tombs that you have to go into, so that way you could get the location of the next boss for you to fight. And these tombs are scattered wherever. We haven't found a rhyme or reason for it yet. I go out scouting looking for these, and I find, I think, like 3 or 4 of them eventually across like 2 days. And every time there has been disaster leading up to finding these tombs. Going through them hasn't been too much of an issue. We only had one person die in the first tomb that we were in because ghosts are hard. But which this encountering our first ghost, we had a person die. The other 2 of us were left there beating a ghost with stone axes, and we managed to kill it. From then on, we decided,
It's
okay,
taking all my effort to not make a to not make a Return of the King reference. By the way, I'm just saying.
Well, and there's also undead skeletons around the tombs and in the tombs. Eventually, they're all different sizes and lengths. But so we decided from that point on, our strategy will be there will be one person in the front who has a shield who will be opening doors. There will be a person in the middle who has a torch and a weapon, so that way you can see, because there's no lights in these tombs. And then the third person behind us will be a weapon and whatever. So we will do this thing where one guy will walk up to a door, be like, all right, everyone ready? Yep. All right. We open the door, kill a bunch of skeletons, whatever. We get to the next door and we stop and listen. It's like, all right, sounds like more skeletons. Open the door, kill the skeletons. We get to the next door.
You're like breaching the door with SEAL team over here.
Yeah, we're clearing it. And it's like we get to the next door and it's like, oh, it sounds like there's a ghost in here. So everyone like eats up their food and stuff, waits for the health to go up. We open the door and just bum rush the room, killing the ghost. So but the tombs will give you different items for crafting, and everything is just, you pick up a new item that you've never had before, and all of a sudden, like, the crafting window, like, you'll just see stuff fly across your window saying, hey, you can craft this, you can craft this, you can do this now. So every time you pick something up, it'll tell you what you can craft. And the crafting and the building you do with a hammer, which you create very early in the game. It doesn't cost a whole lot to make it. It's just like a couple wood, I think, and you have a hammer. The hammer lets you craft pretty much anything until you need the workbench. So then you just craft a workbench with the hammer. You find out that, hey, the workbench needs a roof over it. So you build a roof, and you just basically go from there. So anytime you pick up an item, it'll sit there and it'll tell you, hey, you can now do all this stuff. So we pick up these cores, which now allows us to make furnaces and kilns.
Oh, okay.
So now we can do ingots, which will let us make bronze, which now I have a full set of bronze armor and a bronze axe.
Oh, wow.
And we're doing it very communally, where it's like in our longhouse, we just have like chests along the walls, and they all have little signs above them saying what they are. And so it's basically, take a penny, leave a penny, bring us stuff, and you can use and take whatever you need.
Right.
So all of us so far, except for one person who we have to get more copper for, has full set of everything for armor, for bronze. And we're also doing it by, like, I generally go out and scout by myself whenever people are just doing their thing, whatever they're trying to do, building or making bees nests, whatever, beehives, whatever. So I got the first set of full copper plate, or for full bronze plating, because I'm out in the wilderness doing my own thing, and normally I'm the one that's having to fight things by myself, so I need the protection and the weapons. From there, we've got a guy who just does nothing but smithing. Like, we dropped the stuff. We built him his own house with his own forge and everything, and we drop everything off at his. He makes everything, and we basically just give him orders, like saying, hey, whenever you get a chance, can you make this? And be like, yeah, I've got the stuff, or hey, no, you'll have to get me more copper or whatever.
Oh, okay.
So then we'll set out on expeditions where it's like, all right, he needs copper, or he needs 10. 3 of us will head out and we'll look for it. We'll mine it. 2 of us will mine it, while the third one's keeping watch, because you're always being attacked by random crap. And as soon as we get enough, we come back, drop it off. He builds you what you want, and then we all just move on with our day.
Yeah.
And we have the server set up now where there's 2 different groups. One's on as far east as we've gone so far on the map. And so we have 2 different villages, and we're just kind of sitting here trading with one another.
Oh, okay.
They don't have boars in their area, which you need boars for leather scraps, so that way you can build up leather stuff or like stuff throughout the your buildings. So we'll trade with them. It's like, all right, we will give you 15 boar scraps for, I don't know, like core wood or whatever, because we can't get that in the meadows.
Oh, okay.
We'll meet halfway in between. We'll do the exchange, and then we both go on our merry way. And it's been really interesting, and it's been really fun. And we went back, fought the first boss again, got their head trophy again, and found out that we can mount it in our longhouse.
Ooh.
So now we have this giant deer head with metal chains on it and glowing red eyes mounted above all of our beds in our longhouse. And every once in a while, it will talk to you and it will curse you.
That's great.
That's pretty good.
So it has been really fun. We have had a lot of crazy stories, especially our first troll encounter, because these trolls are massive. Yeah.
Troll the beast or troll the internet lurker?
No, troll the beast.
Yeah, not like a Twitch chatter.
Giant, like 30-foot blue troll. The first time my team had encountered these trolls, I was running up a hill. These other two people, and we didn't have Discord chat yet. We were still using in-game server, like typing chat. So these two other people managed to get up over this hill. I was still struggling because I was out of stamina, so I was trying to jump sideways to get up this hill. And as I get closer to the top of the hill, I see like this rock explode.
Oh no.
The hell was that? And I finally get to the top, and it's classic movie thing where I finally get to the top. The two people in front of me run the way I came, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And there's a troll in the trees that's running towards us.
Oh god.
And I'm like, oh, screw this. So I turn around, run back down the hill that I just made it up on. And this thing will keep up with you. And you can eventually lose it, but it will follow you for a very long distance. And we didn't want to bring it back to the house because we had just built it and we didn't want it to destroy it.
Oh, right.
We fanned out, and one of us started shooting arrows at it, which got its attention. And while it had his attention, we came up behind it, started attacking it with axes until it decided to turn around on one of us. And then we would split off and start shooting it with arrows and just keep doing that. Trolls can one-hit kill you.
Great.
In very numerous ways. They can either stomp you, they can either basically punch you, or they can pull up boulders from the ground and throw them at you.
Jeez.
The other variant of this that we found, that we discovered by accident, was in the dark woods. It's basically all pine trees, and because of how dense it can be, it's kind of hard to see. So one of us found a troll, called out troll, and next thing you know, we see trees literally blowing up in front of us. What had happened was this troll is using a tree as a club.
Oh, wow.
So it swung at one of the guys who managed to get away, but in doing so hit all of these trees, which in doing so basically blew them up. So you have trees flying into other trees, which are knocking over other trees.
Oh, geez.
And it started this whole chaos of us just trying to run away to figure out what the heck is going on. So
oh, man.
It's a pretty fun game. I am really addicted to it.
Yeah.
So that's all I did.
Well, let's
Questions,
talk about
comments. Yeah.
all I did, which is, all right. Let's have an honest chat.
No. Are you going to turn a chair around?
No.
Sit backwards?
Mental health, all-time low this week. Having a real bad week. And it just a lot is happening, and I'm just like 1,000% burnt out. And it's one of those weeks.
Castlevania?
No, I wish. All I played this week was Stardew Valley, because it is the perfect tonic for whatever you're feeling. It's the most blue sky game It's
Mhm.
the polar opposite of the medium. Like, nothing goes wrong as long as you don't pick the Joja company. Nothing goes wrong in the town. Everybody is happy all the time. So I played a ton of that, and just a lot of like working on the farm and restoring the community center and making friends with everyone and
Yeah.
figuring who I'm gonna marry, and it's one of the most relaxing and most rewarding games that you can play, especially when you're not feeling well in one way or another.
Hmm.
Stardew Valley is pretty great for that. I think I just have one. No, I have two bundles left to do in the community center. The one is just the money one, and that just takes a while. Um, I think because I have the randomized community center bundles on. I think for the last one, I'm waiting for like a whole bunch of stuff that's later on in the game, where it's like I need to get I need to upgrade the barn so I can get pigs, and then I need to wait for them to find truffles so I can get turn in truffles and truffle oil. It's like I have a whole bunch of like that late game stuff. It's like I need squid ink, and it's like okay, cool. I remember there's like 4 things I need to do before I do all of that stuff. And I went back to my previous save where I had like all my farm all set up and everything was all proper and good. And it was a little bit overwhelming, especially since I'm still kind of at the starting point for my farm I'm playing now. So I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with the farm that I'm working on right now because I'm making a pretty good amount of progress on that. So as a result, I haven't run into a whole bunch of new stuff yet. Um, there seems to be a whole bunch of new things that are all end game stuff, like in where the railroad is, all the way above town. There's like this giant boulder that leads up to a staircase back there now, and it's like, okay, well that I can say for sure that wasn't there before, and I would really recommend, at least in this playthrough, people turning on randomized mine rewards, because on floor like 60, 70 something, the chest I opened had a level 6 sword in it that just hits like a truck and increases my speed. It's a sword I've never seen before, and that just carried me through like the rest of the 50 floors, and there are absolutely no problem. So I feel I think that's a really cool option. I'm glad the development team put that in. I like the idea of having the remixed community center bundles, like having these remixed rewards and being able to have a different game going every time you play, as opposed to like, all right, well, just here's all the bundles for the community center. Like, I'll just turn in all the stuff I need to do, as opposed to looking at the bundles and being like, oh boy, they need that. Like, ugh, okay, like one of them for me needed like cookies, ice cream, and an ancient doll. It's like, okay, weird. That's a really like one I have to make, one I can only buy in the summer, and one I have to dig out of the ground randomly. It's like, okay, cool. this is it's all stuff you'll kind of gather over the course of a year. So Stardew Valley is just really great. And I haven't even gotten to the new area. There's like a new island. I have to restore the community center before that even getting to that point even unlocks. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. But Stardew Valley's
Still
great.
tickles me that it took a game club for you
Yeah,
to play that game.
it's the same way that you were worried about Valheim, where it's like
Oh yeah.
you know it would be a problem, so you know
Mm-hmm.
why.
It is a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like
This there's like a 3-player first-person shooter coming to the Xbox soon, which is all about hunting dinosaurs, and it's a co-op game with progression and skills and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, oh no,
oh no.
It's like Left 4 Dead except without the PvP, and it's dinosaurs instead of zombies. It's like, oh no,
that's a problem.
Yeah,
Clancy's Dinosaur Hunter.
I wish it was one of the games that was revealed at like the Xbox show, like when they did the Series X presentation.
Oh yeah,
that comes to early access in like 2 weeks.
Oh great.
Nice.
So yeah,
Tune in 2 more episodes, and we'll talk about whatever problem this game is.
You'll still be talking about Stardew Valley.
Probably
He's still going to be talking about Valheim, and then I'm going to start talking about this game.
Perfect.
We're a 3-game show from now on, folks.
There you go. Them's the rules. But that's all I played this week, so let's take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Refreshing.
I'm not kidding. Like I started playing that thinking, oh, okay, this might be fun here and there. I bought it
30
Thursday.
hours later.
Almost. I bought it Thursday. Couldn't play it Thursday night because I had work. Between Friday night and Saturday night, I now have 24 hours in that game.
Yeah, like my entire Destiny clan, when I looked at my Steam's friends list, it's just everybody's playing Valheim. It's like, okay.
Yeah. It's really fun.
Over here, just playing Destiny.
Yeah, is it going to go from Destiny to Dad only? Wait, no, crazy.
I'm okay. I like
really.
I know I would enjoy Valheim, but like and I know it's one of those games that's really good because you're working towards goals, especially with your friends, and it's kind of that like you're progressing and you're hanging out with your friends, you're shooting the poops, but like the amount of time I would need to put into it, and it's not on a console right now. Like those 2 things combined means I can't really spend any time with it.
There is nothing worth testing out your new computer with than a game that's all pixelated.
Than a game that looks like World of Warcraft when it launched.
The worst thing is the art style actually looks good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah.
It does this cool thing where everything that you are looking at is quote unquote high definition, and the corners of your monitor are kind of blurry a little bit. That way it's helping with, you don't have like lag or anything like that, and it clears up pretty quick if you're like quickly switching around looking at things. And
it's a very small team that made this game. Like it is really one of those.
The game's only like a gig.
Yeah, it's like one of those 1,000,001 where it's like, here's our cool, Viking Valhalla, survival friendship game, and everyone's like, yep, 3 million copies, let's go. It's like, oh, yeah. Okay, oh no.
Well, it's also the fact that it's early access, and it feels like a full featured game. Like it doesn't feel like it's missing anything so far. Granted,
like it's early access in the ways that like some of the edges are rough, but not in the way where it's like, cool, you played 10 hours, see you in the next patch.
Yeah, but it is. I don't think I would be having as much fun with it if I was still playing by myself like I had started.
Yeah,
I think going into the server with this group of people who I don't even know, most of them, I think I know 2 people, and I am aware of another one because it's the woman who started the server. It's her boyfriend who I've been working with for like the last 2 days now on the server.
Oh, nice.
So everyone else is like friends of theirs, and I don't know any of them, but with all of them, the crazy dumb bullshit that we've gotten into with like trying to figure out how boats work,
right?
Like driving boats, and
I built this thing. How does it work?
Well, and realizing that like the new boat that we built is like the first one that you build is just a raft. It's a crappy piece of shit, and it barely moves even when you have the wind behind you. This new one is like a sports car compared to that, where it turns on a dime and it hauls. We didn't want to hit land with it to cause damage to it, so he parked it kind of back. We jumped to shore, and then we realized he parked it too far back, so we can't jump back on it. I'm like, yeah, great. No, this is great. Our brand new ship that we just brought out on its maiden voyage,
Right.
we can't even get back into it. And then we
07
found out
ship.
on one side there's a ladder that you can climb to get onto it. It's like, thank
there you go.
God, because it has storage, and we were planning on using this boat for mining.
Oh, right. Man.
But yeah, it's just some of the dumb random stuff. Like that troll encounter was just the first one was just the craziest. Now we can kill trolls, just two of us.
Right.
No problem. But the first time, it was the scariest fucking thing we ever ran into.
All right, you guys ready to do the second half of this?
Yep.
Yep. I do not have the show notes open, but that will be solved in a moment or two.
All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of February 22nd, 2021. Persona 5 Strikers comes out PC, Switch, and PS4.
Is this a soccer game?
Yes.
No, this is the Musou game.
Yeah.
Remember,
Anytime I see the word strikers,
I know,
it's just like
it's a weird. It would be it's almost like Persona 5 Soccer, not a soccer game though. It's like okay,
I mean,
interesting.
they did a dancing game, so a soccer game couldn't be that far out of the
Yeah,
realm
sure,
of possibility.
Do whatever
no,
you
it
want.
would be absolutely great. Shoot themselves in the face so they can summon someone to save the goal. It would be fantastic.
That would be really good. Reminder: this is Persona 5 2. So if you've not played Persona 5, it doesn't recap. So go play that first before you play the sequel.
And apparently the extra stuff in Royal isn't in this at all.
Yeah, which it seems fine because Royal wasn't like really a thing when they started developing it. And it seems like that's not like a super major thing, but if you bought the digital deluxe thing, you got access to it a couple of days early. I think it launched on Friday. So people that are playing it seem to be pretty positive about it, which is exciting. But we'll see. I get my copy probably Tuesday or Wednesday, so we'll see pretty soon, I guess. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection comes out on the Switch. I had to do a bunch of research on this because it looks exactly like the first Ghosts and Goblins game, but the description is very clearly it's inspired by. It's not a remake. It's like, okay, maybe I don't understand enough to tell what the difference is. It looks like Green Hill Zone from Sonic, where it's like, cool, that just looks like Sonic, but maybe there's like a level of crafting there that maybe I don't understand the difference of.
So can we just deal with this right here and now? Ghosts and Goblins is a complete piece of trash as a video game.
I don't like it. I think it relies
Dark Souls before it got refined.
Yeah, I think it relies too much on its difficulty as opposed to being fun. And this game's description is like, oh, don't worry. Just because it's new doesn't mean it's easy. It's going to be as difficult as the old ones. So it's like, I'm out.
I'm out.
All right. I don't have time. I don't even want to play a Dark Souls game. Like, I don't know. Yeah, anyway. Last but not least, Bravely Default 2 comes out on the Switch on the 26th. Couldn't be more excited about this. Everything they keep showing off on this has been really great. Please don't be bad. Bravely Second wasn't super great. Please don't be bad. I beg of you. We'll talk about that this next week, I guess. All right, let's talk about news stories. Nintendo did their first kind of full Nintendo Direct in over a year. They opened it with a really great Xenoblade Chronicles video that was fully voice acted and everything, and it just turned out, that lady from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is in Smash now.
Which is cool, but got my hopes up for a sequel.
Yeah, I feel like those games have been doing well enough that that's probably just a matter of time.
Yeah.
I think even the Torna DLC did super well, so.
Like, at this point, is Smash both the creator and the ender of all dreams?
Yeah, maybe. Where it's like,
Seems like it.
another Xenoblade. Oh, she's in Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, you've got the whole Sephiroth being in Smash all of a sudden, which was amazing, by the way.
Yep.
Oh,
Still
oh,
a great trailer.
It's still cool that Pyro's in Smash, but like I
Yep.
said, just the way that they started that trailer was like, oh crap, it's a sequel finally.
It's coming.
And,
Oh no. Yeah. Fall Guys is coming to Switch and Xbox One this summer. So go play Fall Guys. It's really good. Speaking of another game that's really good, Outer Wilds coming to Switch summer 2021. The trailer they showed that game running well on Switch. I'm not sure I believe it, but we will see when it comes out. If it runs well on Switch, please play Outer Wilds. It's really good.
yeah, it's also on Game Pass now permanently, I believe. So
Great. So you can play that on 4K.
because Microsoft
console.
bought the studio, so
Oh, that's true. That's true. Hey, you guys made that really great thing. Come on in. Got the door open for you.
oh, sorry, hold on. We're gonna buy you because we're in talks with Bethesda because you guys made the best Fallout game, and then we're just
Right.
gonna buy Bethesda so you can make the best Fallout game.
Right. Now you two work together. 2 Famicom detective games are coming on May 14th to Switch, which is mind-boggling that we would ever get any of these games over here, nevertheless localized.
As the non-weeb, what are these?
So these are these came out on the Famicom in Japan
Really?
back
Really?
then. Hey man. A lot of times when they bring this stuff over, it's like, oh, someone's like trying to be cute with the name. But these are actually Famicom games, and they've completely redone the graphics and everything. So they look modern. They have voice acting, but these are like adventure detective, like murder mystery games. They're not visual novels. It's more akin to like the Phoenix Wright games when you're out in the field and investigating places and interviewing people. So they seem to be beloved by people that have played them, but you know they're 30-something years old at this point, so and never in English. So this is kind of notable, and I'm really excited to check these out because everyone's just like, oh, these games are awesome. It's like, okay, never heard of them, but cool. That seems exciting. This is really weird. One of my favorite Square Enix games, Legend of Mana, is getting a remaster and coming to like Switch, Xbox One, PS4,
Everything.
I think PC. Legend of Mana is really good. It is the whole cool part about it that they actually touch on in the trailer is that when you're playing it, it's like a sort of standard 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up RPG. But when you beat a level, you get essentially like an artifact that you can plant on the world map, and that spawns a new location. But putting certain ones next to each other changes different locations and different encounters you can have in those locations. It's a really cool game. It's not like the most complicated thing they've ever made, but it's a really cool, fun, really pretty game. And
I was gonna say it looked really nice back in the day too.
yeah, and like it looks like they didn't really mess with the character sprites. And it looks like they kind of just up-resed all the background stuff, which is kind of how you want that to be. I'm really excited for more people to get a chance to play that.
No Dark Cloud, no deal.
Yeah, man, I've always hoped for Dark Cloud 3, but boy, Level 5 is in a really bad spot right now because they pushed all their chips onto the square that says Yokai Watch, and the entire world went, no, I'm good. So, whoops. Mario Golf Speed Rush was announced, which, number 1, very excited for another Mario Golf game. Number 2, the obvious hit mode in here is Speed Golf, which you are sprinting from hole to hole to try to beat your opponents to the hole so you can swing sooner, and you have like power-ups and you're jockeying with each other. That looks like a lot of fun. And,
I hope there's a Rainbow Road and it's got no edges.
oh, that'd be really great. I think the main game itself looks really solid. The only thing I wish is there's like this whole story mode or RPG mode or whatever they call it. They force you to play as your me. I really wish they would stop doing that. I don't want to play any game as my me. Ever. Like, let me pick one of the characters from Mario and everyone else, just like that character won't show up in the game or something. Just please don't make me play as my me. They're bad.
It's almost like you hate yourself.
Yeah, maybe. Also announced Tales from the Borderlands is coming to Switch. If you haven't played Tales from Borderlands, it's really good.
Also, freshly back on the other console stores, by the way, after being delisted.
Yeah. So that will probably be a really good experience on the Switch. And if you haven't played it, if you like Borderlands and you haven't played it, go play it. If you don't like Borderlands and you haven't played it, go play it. It's not a Borderlands game. It's a Telltale game. And if you don't like Telltale games, then just don't play it.
It's kind of a Borderlands game.
Yeah, like it uses all the story trappings and, you're on Pandora and a bunch of other stuff, but it's not the stuff you don't like out of Borderlands. Square Enix also announced working title Project Triangle Strategy, which is releasing in 2022. There's a demo right now. I downloaded the demo. I haven't been able to play it. If you wanted Octopath Traveler to be Final Fantasy Tactics, it appears that's what this is. So it uses the Octopath. Well, I mean, a lot of people wanted based on how many people downloaded the demo. I'm not sure I wanted that, but haven't really played the demo yet. So it's essentially a grid-based SRPG with the Octopath Traveler engine, which cool. Also, put Final Fantasy Tactics on the Switch. I don't know why it's not there. It's the easiest sell. You gonna put Legend of Man on there first? Like what are you doing, Square? Crazy.
They're being Square. I can't wait to see what Western studio gets blamed for their newest loss of profits.
Yeah, probably Eidos. Or who made Avengers? That's Eidos, right? No, that's Crystal Dynamics. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who've been through this before.
Au revoir. EA announced. I normally wouldn't talk about this. EA announced Knockout City. That's like the most potentially litigious game I've seen in a really long time, because I'm watching the trailer and I'm like, oh, cool, like an orc from Warcraft is in here. And then they're showing off other characters. It's like, oh, okay, I thought this was going to be like a Hearthstone thing. And they're like, no, Knockout City from EA. And I was like, okay, that's real close to a Warcraft, dude. Like that's real close.
Blizzard haven't got a leg to stand on, considering their entire lore was basically usurped from Warhammer games.
Oh, for sure. I mean, but Bobby Kotick and his lawyers will probably try something, maybe. Also, another game that I really like that it maybe shouldn't be remastered. Saga Frontier Remastered was announced for Switch as well. That's a really weird game. It's a really weird thing to remaster or remember at all. Saga Frontier 2 was a better game in almost every way, and this game is... God, this game's going to piss off so many people that pick it up. It's going to be really great. They have no idea what's coming for them. It's going to be so good. Oh, man. Apex Legends launches on March 9th. I had to laugh. A lot of people online being like, boy, Apex looks rough on Switch. It's like, oh, yeah? Weird. But it looks like it runs at 60 frames, so okay.
Yeah, do the guns fire where you want them to? Then
right,
sure.
like what
you cannot. You literally cannot, on one hand, like praise the Switcher, and then on the other hand, diss the Apex Legends on Switch. Like they go hand in hand.
Right. Yeah. And then they came out to say like, "Hey, Breath of the Wild 2, funny story, we don't have an update. Development's going great. Yada, yada, yada. Sorry about that. Skyward Sword HD is going to come to Switch this year. And everyone's like, oh, okay, sure. This is the only Zelda game I haven't played, so I'm sort of interested for that. But they showed off you can use either motion controls, like on the Wii with your Joy-Cons, or you can use the right analog stick to swing the sword by sort of swiping it the different ways you would want to swing, which is good.
Revengeance?
Yeah, very much. Well, and also, like, I didn't even think about it, but they're like, if you don't want to use the motion controls, or you have a Switch Lite, you can use the right stick. And I was like, oh, right. That'd be a real bummer if you're like, here's the new HD Zelda game that you can't play.
Yeah.
Thanks for buying our Switch.
Almost like
honestly,
you can't use Ring Fit with the Switch Lite.
Right.
Yeah, for some dumb reason.
Boo. Yeah. But that looks okay. It looks like maybe they haven't gone as far remastering that as I maybe would have expected from them, but I'm not sure how early the footage is. It might be kind of an early build that hasn't gotten the last coat of paint on it. Also, people online thinking that Nintendo would charge $40 for this instead of $60. LOL.
Have you seen the price on Skyward Sword? Like right now, like used at any store ever?
Have you
It's
seen
still $60.
Have you seen the price for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? It's still $60. Like, come on. And
I don't know if you know this about Nintendo, but
Yeah.
their tagline might as well be, it's still $60.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people learning a lesson about business again. That they'll forget the next time another game is announced. And last announcement here, shockingly, Splatoon 3 was announced, which I wasn't expecting them to announce. I thought they kind of sunset Splatoon 2, and I thought that would be the end of it. And then I found out Splatoon 2 sold a bajillion copies over like all the world. It's like this really weirdly, quietly successful game that I feel like I never really saw a couple of people be like, oh yeah, I love Splatoon 2, like it's really great. And it just sold tens of millions of copies. Just really.
Mm-hmm. I think it's one of those games where it's very much like other Nintendo franchises have done it. Similarly, Mario Kart's a good example of this, but it's a first-person shooter genre or a third-person shooter that you can introduce your kids to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, both my kids are way into Splatoon.
Oh, nice.
Something tells me you're not going to plop them down in front of Call of Duty, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, for a whole bunch of reasons. Yeah. All right, our last news story this week. BlizzConline had its open and announcements this week. They announced like 7 or 8
Firstly,
different.
That's
Yes.
a great name, by the way.
It really is. Like 2 thumbs up for Blizzard coming up with the best name you could come up for an online BlizzCon. They showed off Diablo 2 Resurrected, which has been the rumor for a couple of months here.
Isn't this the remake of the remake that they released and botched? Or was that
No.
Diablo that they messed up really badly on?
You're thinking of Warcraft 3 Reforged?
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
They very specifically didn't mention that at all this year. This is the one Vicarious Visions is working on. One of the reasons why Activision Blizzard purchased them. This is going to be both the base game and the expansion. It's coming out PS5, PS4, Series X, Xbox One, Switch, and PC this year. And it supports cross-progression across all of those platforms, and graphics can be switched on the fly. Which is...
I literally don't care about Diablo 2.
Yeah, like, so many people are really excited about this, and, like, I loved Diablo 1, and I loved Diablo 3. I kind of never clicked with Diablo 2. Like, it's a good game, but it never clicked with me the way that 1 and 3 did. And I don't know why, but, like, they showed off Diablo 2 Resurrected. It's like, Okay. Cool. Like, I'll keep playing Diablo 3 because that one's really good. And it has seasons.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah, but they'll
Maybe
shut
pick
down
this
those
up for something
seasons.
my wife and I can play.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What were you going to say, Moon?
Oh, I was just saying that they'll shut down those seasons and force you to move either backwards to 2 or forwards to 4.
I'm happy to move forward to 4 because 4 looks real good. Also, a lot of people saying, like, LOL, remember that Diablo 3 looks super cartoony? And it's like, it doesn't. It's just, stop saying that. Diablo 3 has never looked cartoony. Anyways, they showed off the Rogue class for Diablo 4. It's pretty much what you would expect. A lot of new gameplay for Diablo 4. The game looks pretty good. That kind of a darker experience, maybe more in line with Diablo 1. But that looks solid. I'll be checking that out once it comes out.
Is Blizzard Blooded going to be in it?
I don't know. And they announced the Burning Crusade expansion is coming to WoW Classic. The weird thing is there's now kind of 2 paths you can go on with WoW Classic. You can kind of stick with the releases as they're coming out, which are coming out at fast enough that where do they stop? That seems like a really weird thing. Or you can just stay with vanilla permanently, which is a really weird way of just staying like WoW Classic. I'm not sure why they go to Burning Crusade when I was playing at the time and it was not super well received. I don't know why they don't just get up to this point and be like, that's WoW Classic. See ya.
Developers stopped making season passes tie into multiplayer maps because it was fracturing the market too much. Like,
right.
It was destroying player bases because you just wouldn't have the popularity needed. Blizzard was losing their popularity on World of Warcraft, and it appears to me like their solution to losing their player base was to literally fracture the market.
And like they had an interview with I don't remember where I read it. But they were like, yeah, we were really surprised at how popular WoW Classic is. And it's like, no, you're not, because you continually, through lawsuit after lawsuit, after the guys that were running WoW Classic, and then made another one, and it like doubled the popularity of World of Warcraft overnight. Like, you don't spend all this money to just be like, whoa, we were surprised. It's like, no, your spreadsheet told you that was going to be a hit. Activision Blizzard. All right, let's move on to our questions. First up here from T-Bomb Rocks. I know you have spoken about most of these franchises in length. What are your favorite and least favorite entries in the following franchises?
Can we do lightning round? Let's go lightning round.
Oh, okay. Assassin's Creed, favorite and least favorite.
Favorite, Origins, least favorite, 3.
Nimp.
I could actually get behind that, yeah.
I'm probably Odyssey and 3. I think Odyssey clicked with me a little bit more than Origins did. Final Fantasy. This one won't be contentious at all.
Are we going to continue best worst?
Yeah, let's do best worst.
8-7.
Wow. Hot.
Yeah, mine would be 7-9.
Mine would be 12-2. Not 4. Don't be anyone be like, ooh, 4. Just the Famicom 2, the bad one. Call of Duty. Oh boy.
All of them bad.
None.
Modern Warfare Ghosts.
Oh, Ghosts. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, all their stories are so forgettable that.
That's why I picked Modern Warfare, because it's the
Yeah.
best of them all.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the recent one has good multiplayer, so I guess multiplayer-wise, the recent one. And then
I'm
bad
talking about
ones,
the OG Modern Warfare, by the way.
The 2004
I'm talking about
or whatever.
the current, current Warfare, whatever crap
Modern
one
Warfare
that came out last year.
version 3.
Yeah. And then any of them that aren't the ones that are currently supported are all the bad ones for multiplayer, because they're all hacked and everyone cheats on them now.
Oh, yeah. I think the only Call of Duty I played is the original Modern Warfare, or at least that's the only one I've like played to completion. So that's the best one. Worst one, like I have no idea. Far Cry. Boy.
3-4.
She's 3-2.
I'm going to go 4-1. Far Cry 1 is not a great game.
I have not
Played it. Yeah.
Otherwise, that might be on my list.
Real not good. Yeah.
The two I played are 3 and 4, and guess which ones I like and
There you
don't.
go. All right, here's a hot one. Legend of Zelda.
Boy.
I'll go first. Minish Cap is the best one. Spirit Tracks is the worst one.
I was debating on Minish Cap to be my best. I'm not going to lie.
It's very good. Of course, Nintendo didn't make that one. That's a Capcom one.
Yeah.
Link's Awakening, Twilight Princess.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, Majora's Mask and Spirit Tracks.
It's those two DS games.
Dude,
Hot
I really liked Spirit
trash.
Tracks. I really liked Spirit Tracks. It was dumb, it was stupid, but I really liked it.
I liked it, but I didn't like the train aspect necessarily.
I like the core system. It's
Yeah.
just like,
But
yeah.
everything else was fine.
What was the other one? The one where you kept going back in that dungeon? The previous one.
Shattered Memories or something. It was when
That's Kingdom Hearts.
no, it was when Zelda was the night thing in the dungeon. I know exactly what the plot is. I played that game, but
I
I can't
didn't like
remember.
that one. Yeah. Mario, he says parenthetically. Oh, go ahead.
Shall we split this into two because it's two valid.
Okay,
groups
yeah.
here?
So first we'll start off with Mario proper games. So like the other category he has is sports. Let's start off with proper. Mario.
Paper Mario, the original, and then I don't know.
Now we need 3 categories.
RPGs as well. 64 and New Super Mario Brothers 3 or 2, whichever.
Wasn't
one,
there a
whatever
Mario
the
game on the
highest-
Virtual Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, so
just
that'll
have
be
to
my
play.
crap one. Yeah.
Yeah. Galaxy 2 is the
Oh, I forgot about Galaxy.
best. The worst is I don't Yoshi's Island doesn't count.
Phantom Hourglass was the Zelda game.
Oh, Phantom Hourglass. Woof. Yeah. I don't a bad Mario game. I don't know. I feel like there's one I'm forgetting.
There's plenty you're forgetting.
They're all pretty good.
Okay, so you're gonna.
What was your
My-
pick, Moon?
My bad pick was New Super Mario Brothers, whatever the highest number they got to, because it was just the same game over and over again.
Yeah.
And I played them all 3-player, so I was in for a
Oh,
nightmare of a time.
jeez. You earned your wings on that one.
Quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Mario Sports. Let's do that one now. This is the one I don't know.
Mario Kart 64.
I was gonna say, are we putting Mario Kart in sports?
Yeah, sure.
And Mario Tennis, the most recent one.
Oh, yeah.
What about the party games though?
Party
That's-
games rock. Don't talk to me about
That's
that.
their own level of hell. Like,
Okay.
I don't even want to... So 4 is the best Mario Party. Don't at me.
I think
That's-
Mario Kart 8 is the one that I was playing with my kids on the Wii U.
Right.
And then what is that? The first or the second Olympics one.
Oh, God.
Mario
'Cause
Sonic
I think
at
the
Olympics?
first the
Yeah.
first one was all right, if I remember, but the second one was kind of crap.
Mario and Sonic go back to the Olympics? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Mine might be like a tie between Mario Strikers, that soccer game on the GameCube that was really good,
Oh yeah.
And maybe like the Mario Golf that was on Game Boy Advance, because that was really solid. Worst one, like any of I think I would have to go with the most recent, like the last 2 or 3 tennis ones. They're just they're fine. They're not great. They're fine. Metal Gear. Here's a hot one.
Oh, yeah, I got a good one for this. Okay. I can do this.
Okay.
I can do this. Rising Revengeance and 1.
You didn't like 1?
Compared to the rest, 1 is the worst.
Hang on. 1, the original Super Nintendo or Nintendo version, or Metal Gear Solid 1? Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we're
PlayStation
probably
version.
not going to count Metal Gear.
I
haven't
just
played
wanted to
the
make sure.
originals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Go ahead.
Metal Gear 1 is a 4-hour game wrapped in 20 hours of cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's genuinely speaking a fantastic game. And Rising Revengeance is the best of them all because you run up a giant robot while listening to heavy metal music and doing some slicey things.
So quick twist on this. If you just pick mainline games, not any of the like Revengeance spin-off sort of things, what would be your best like 1 through 5 game?
5.
Okay.
Because they spent so much money on Kiefer Sutherland that the story went down to a peanut, so they had to make up for that with
Unfinished.
gameplay, which is fantastic.
That's so good, dude. Yeah.
If I only have to choose from the main line, it would be 5 and 2. 2 only because it was basically a rehashing of the first game. Once you got past the twist, like the twist didn't bother me at all.
Yeah. Twist is
The core
good.
game, the core game was basically just a rehashing of the 1 on the PS2.
Right.
But it was the Solid Snake simulation. You had
Yeah.
to try and get
S3.
right into the
I know,
same
and
level.
Amazon
I'm not
S3.
saying I have to pick. I like all of them, but I
Yeah,
had to pick
you just
the
have to
weaker
pick-
one out of them.
Yeah, the worst of the best.
Now, if I'm not mainlining, the Acid series is pretty awesome.
You stole mine. Acid 2 would be my favorite. Acid 2 is the best Metal Gear game, period, of all of them in the entire franchise, but we're not talking about that right now. 3D goggles were stupid, and they were great. My favorite is 2, largely because of how weird it is in, like, the last quarter of it.
Oh, yeah.
My least favorite, 4, largely because of the walking around Paris chapter where you're dressed as the guy from Snatcher. There's literally nothing going on.
You
never
didn't have any
played four.
issues going through the microwave hallway?
Microwave Hallway is great because you're mashing it, cool stuff is happening. That one you walk around Paris for a while, then you go on an on-rail shooting thing, and then Liquid Snake does that thing with his finger guns that blows up actual things in the world for like literally 7.5 minutes. 4 is uneven.
Yeah,
My
machines.
experience with, if you want to experience 4 and you don't want to play that nightmare, Metal Gear Scanlan is a great place to experience the madness of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Very good.
And
Which
really
is also where I
90% of
discovered
that,
about.
let's say 90% of that game is movies, so
Yeah.
That's where I
Forza.
discovered about Snake's squeaky butt in that game. Like when you do the
Yes.
really slow crawl, he does the butt wiggle up and
Yep.
down like a caterpillar.
Forza.
Horizon 4 and 7.
I've
What's
only played-
specifically about 7? Is it the loot boxes thing?
It's the loot boxes thing. It's the fact that they patched it afterwards to make it more expensive after patching them downwards to make them less expensive. And it's the fact that it's a normal Forza game. Why would you ever create a normal Forza game when Horizon exists?
Just give them double the money.
Mine would be 3 just because I haven't played 4 yet, and I guess 8 because it's the only other one that I've played.
It's like a tie between Horizon 3 and 4. 4 is probably a better game. I
you
guess
can run through walls in it, dude.
Yeah, oh, plus all the different seasons, like that's pretty fun. I get that changes some stuff up pretty nicely.
And you get the Lego DLC.
Yeah, like you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, but 3's got the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I'm saying. They're both pretty good games, but
Yeah,
I've only played 3 so far.
Yeah. My least favorite one, it almost feels like I haven't played 7 because I kind of refused to. Maybe 1 then, because it was super thin on content. I really got into 2, but I never... 1 was fine. Like, it wasn't super great. The last one here, Street Fighter, parenthetically, spin-offs included. Jesus.
Oh, wait. And what counts as a Street Fighter spin-off?
Yeah, what is this, like 45 games?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Honestly, the only ones that I played were back on the PS1, and that was Street Fighter 3 Alpha, I think. And then
Did it have
Darksiders. What
Yeah,
about
I think Skullomania was in Alpha 3.
If you had Skullomania, then I think it was.
I don't remember. Street Fighter is not my thing. But
Yeah.
I remember I had that game and I had Darksiders. And those are the only 2 Street Fighter games I've actually really played.
This is how little experienced I am with Street Fighter. The best Street Fighter game is Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition.
Sure.
The worst Street Fighter game is Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. Because it's literally the only Street Fighter game I have ever actually played and put time into.
The best Street Fighter game is easily Street Fighter 3, like the second version of that, like whatever the ultimate version of that was. I like 3 a lot. It feels like cheating saying the first Street Fighter game was the worst because that it's not even like any of the other ones. So maybe.
Oh, I need to revise my answer. I apologize.
Did you play 5?
I forgot about the Street Fighter game I played.
Okay.
Street Fighter, the movie, the game on Sega Saturn. I played that. That's the worst one.
Oh, God. The worst one is probably 4. I kind of don't like where they're going with like 4 and 5. I didn't play 5 because it's kind of more of the same. There's something about the most recent Street Fighter games that I just doesn't really click with me. I don't think it's any one specific thing where I'm like, oh, I don't like the EX bar or whatever. I just, there's something about the whole thing that I don't click with.
Rival Schools is considered a spin-off, by the way.
Oh, Rival Schools is good. Yeah, I'll stay with my choices though. Thank you, T-Bomb, for writing in. Those were good questions.
Wait.
Go ahead.
MVC? Really? You're gonna ignore MVC?
It's not on the list.
You could say like Street Fighter. What was this? Street Fighter versus X-Men? Was that one of them? X-Men versus.
Was there a Street Fighter one, or was it just Capcom?
Versus Street Fighter? No, because that was before Marvel versus Capcom. That was like before the War of the Gems, whatever.
Oh,
it was
man.
like a
Street Fighter characters are in those games. Do those count too?
I don't know.
X-Men versus Street Fighter 1996.
Yeah, that was the arcade one. That was okay. And then like the War for the Gems or like War for the Atom was a little bit better, and then like Marvel vs. Capcom came out and it's like, all right, now you figured it out. That's the one. Monkey Suit Man sends us in a question. Says, recently I completed Recently I completed Spiritfarer 100%, and I didn't really feel moved by the story. After hearing about the new DLC and people's moving experience with it, I realized it didn't impact me the same way because I played it with a focus on getting all the achievements on one playthrough. Do you all feel that chasing achievements sometimes makes you miss out on the story or impact of a game?
What's that you saying? It's a good question directed at me?
Yes.
Yeah, specifically
directed at me?
1/3 of TVGP?
Yeah, it does. Like, you literally, there is no going around it. If you are specifically playing a game specifically for the achievements, it will affect the way you play.
Yeah.
It will affect your enjoyment of it, your absorption of the story. It affects a lot of different things about it, to be honest. My thing is, the easiest way around this to stop yourself from worrying too much is if you are an achievement hunter like me, you cannot help yourself. That's fine. Believe me. This is a safe space.
You are amongst friends.
This third of the show is a safe space.
Right.
Go
It's not
to.
like I judge you because you do it.
No,
I
I
just
thought
don't
you were
have
gonna
the
be like,
time for it. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like, I'm not judging you because you're like an achievement weirdo or anything. You'd be like, wait a minute.
If you go to sites like X360A, True Achievements, these are popular achievement hunting websites. Sometimes they'll have a walkthrough. Generally speaking, TAs, you have to wait for the walkthrough to be up and running. X360A usually puts it out as soon as they get achievement information. But in the game summary page, you'll see if there is missable achievements.
That's the thing, yeah.
Only thing you need to worry about. Go in
If
that,
it says
read that.
zero,
If it says-
like,
yeah, if it
play
literally
through
if it says 0, play the game and do not worry.
like if it's
If it
coupled
says
with,
1,
yeah,
like just do a little bit of reading. Just say, okay,
Yeah.
what's that one missable achievement? And I'm pretty sure TA now actually has it where when you are on their page, you can filter by missable, so you can
I think
see
so, yeah.
this is the moment this is the achievement I need to keep an eye out for, and then I can just save, quit, and do what I need to do at that point.
I think the real combination of things you're looking for is missable achievements, if that's 0, and playthroughs needed. If that says 1, just play however you want.
Yeah, because
It's at that
generally
point,
speaking, you'll
like-
get like Far Cry 3,
Yep.
big open world games, Assassin's Creed. It will always say missable achievements 0, playthroughs needed 1, and then you're absolutely fine. You can
play through on whatever difficulty you want. It's just you're not going to miss anything. You're not going to be locked out of anything.
Maybe look at the time to 100% too. That way you're not buying a bunch of games that are like 200 hours long.
Yeah. Well, in
or
this
have
roguelike,
a hard drive with
the
You
Binding
don't
of
you
Isaac,
bring that
time to
up.
completion. Man.
yes, but no, there is resources available if you find yourself doing that. The only other thing I can say is try not to. Like, look for the missables, and if you think you want to enjoy and experience a game, then just play it. Accept the fact that you will have to play a game twice or maybe another halfway through, like I did with Spiritfarer.
Right.
Accept that fact and either be willing to do the extra half a playthrough or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
'Cause, I
a
mean,
good question, though.
Achievements are a lot of them lately are set up where you have to do additional grinding outside of the story or what you would normally do.
Hmm.
So it makes sense that you felt a little detached if you were grinding all this stuff because it had probably been hours since the last time you had a story beat.
Sure.
And so you're
yeah.
coming back to it and you're like, oh yeah, this is what's happening. And you probably feel a little detached from it because you weren't really in the thick of it anymore.
Yeah.
So, but whatever.
Right.
If you're having fun,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that should be priority number 1. Should be have fun. But I literally have a group on my Xbox which is called Mop Up, where it's just like games where they are those single playthrough games that I can just go back whenever I want, knock out a few achievements because it's like, oh, kill this many people with this weapon, or
Right.
find this stupid secret thing, or play
Collect all
Vambrace
these-
Sold.
I was just gonna say, like, collect all these lingerie pieces. It's like, ugh. Boy.
Huh? Yeah. It's my weird world has gotten so bad recently that my YouTube recommendations have turned into when every character reveals to Sarah from Legends of Tomorrow that they're gay, and her facial reactions. And these are the 10 most embarrassing achievements to have on your profile.
Oh man, I gotta go look at those.
and
They're
then
all
you go
just-
hunt them down.
They're all just Binding of Isaac achievements.
Okay, Nier Automata has one.
Okay, I know which one that is. Yep.
Lollipop Chainsaw has one.
Okay.
It's the same one.
Yeah,
Yakuza Zero has one.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah, they're all those achievements. So
Gotcha.
don't even bother looking at the videos.
Yeah, because I already have them.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in your questions, and thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find it and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page, including if you're playing Valheim, hop into the Discord server. A bunch of other people are playing there too. Or if you want to play Destiny 2, cough, cough, cough. Patreon.com/E1M1 the Wonder Numbers. $5 a month is the recommended tier, as we talked about already. You get all the cool audio. You help me pay for the show, because this thing is not cheap. And get us closer to the goal of playing some spooky, scary stuff.
Please.
Moon and I just finished Critical Misses Season 6, Episode 1. So that's going to be in the can tonight. If you're not listening to Critical Misses yet, I really recommend it. I think that show is turning out really great for a thing that like always on this show, it's just sort of like, we'll try a couple episodes, let's see how it goes. And it's like, oh no, okay, yeah, this is fun. We're having a lot of fun making it.
One might say we've hit the experimentation stage of our relationship.
That's right. That's right. So listen to Critical Misses. It's turning out really great. For season 6, we're doing something a little bit different than we've done previously, and I think so far it's we recorded an incredibly long episode for this that I think turned out really great. So
I'm gonna put it live on the show now as well. We will be putting a poll up at some point for the next season of Critical Misses, because after we're done with our experimentation phase, we figured it's time to hit one of the big boys.
Yep.
So yeah, there's going to be a very important choice for.
Yeah. And we'll put the poll on Patreon, but we'll open it up to everybody. So you'll be able to go over and vote, even if you're not a patron. And you can sign up for Patreon while you're there. Hey, and you'll be able to vote and figure out which one of these two humongous franchises we should watch in season 7.
You should watch. Keep my name out of your mouth when you say we should watch.
The royal we, the uncultured of us in the duo, which is me. Listening to Critical Misses, it's turned out really great. And I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Oh god, I just looked at the titles. Okay. Hit me with your titles.
I have To Spite Friend of the Show Rob. Full On That Bad Guy. Red Basement Gaming.
Oh, I have that one too.
Cookies, Ice Cream, and an Ancient Doll. And Tom Clancy Dino Hunter.
All right, Moon, what do you have?
Red Basement Gaming. I'm bringing it up again just because I like to say it. Tickle My Giblets. I know it gets a veto. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Talk to the Head. Tutorial Crow. Ghosts Are Hard. Troll the Beast. As the Non-Weeb. Almost Like You Hate Yourself. And it's still $60.
Also, the Tutorial Crow is totally Hugin. Like, they just like, hey, Hugin's in the game. It's like, of course he is. Titles I have: A Sexy Polar Bear, which is just the best combination of words. Red Basement Gaming, Tom Clancy, Dino Hunter, and Tutorial Crow. All three of us have Red Basement Gaming because it just sounds like the name of our game development studio.
But here is the best thing. It is our game development studio, but we only make games like Stardew Valley. Just like
Exactly.
Bloober Team only makes horror games.
Right.
We only make really, really light beat games.
We're the Bloober of comfort games. Yeah. All right. I think that's got to be that one.
Yeah, works for me.
All right. I'm circling it. Let me know when you guys are ready.
I've got something, but I don't know if it plays.
I mean, that's always the
Just
ones
roll
that
with
are
it.
good. That when they're crazy, that's always good.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. Okay, fine. I'm gonna roll with it. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 696 for February 22nd, 2021. Red Basement Gaming.
I wanna go downtown.
That was horrible.
You broke
Told
him.
Yeah, no. That's
All right,
good.
thanks everyone for listening and watching. I appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Bye.